evening. I'm Amit Gates.
And I'm Dan Ashley. Thanks for joining us. This is a disturbing case, obviously. The dog had killed 2 chickens.
But a police use of force expert says the officer should not have opened fire.
ABC 7 News IT reporter Dan Noyes is here with a story you will see only on 7.
Well, Dan and Ahmed, the shooter is no ordinary officer. He is head of the Novato SWAT team, master of the police gun range, and they're expert in de-escalation. Now, one note, we're being careful, but some of the pictures in this report are disturbing. When they moved in 2 years ago, Phil and Anna Henry hoped Petaluma would be a quiet place to retire. He's an architect. She's a university administrator. They wanted a place their grandchildren could visit and play with their shelter dog named Huck. He's a breed called Black Mouth Cur.
In the morning, he'd come up and get in our bed.
Yes. He wasn't allowed at nighttime. No, couldn't sleep, didn't have a big enough bed.
The trouble began last summer when their neighbor complained that Huck barked every time he took out the trash.
And he looked over the fence at me and he said, well, if your dog ever comes over here again, he's not coming back.
That neighbor is head of the Novato Police SWAT team, master of the department's gun range. They're expert in de-escalation, Sergeant Nick Frey.
Nick, can I talk to you?
Frey did not stop to speak with me and did not return my messages, but his lawyer provided a surveillance video in which Frey recounts the conversation with Phil Henry about his dog. If I had to shoot him, I would. That recording comes from Sunday, September 18th, the day Huck died. The Henrys' 3 grandkids were visiting.
They were playing in the garden, and the dog, if they were right by the gate, the dog...
Leash. But the dog has already begun chasing chickens that roam loose in the yard. Anna Henry, 71 years old, dives at Huck, but he keeps going, killing one bird, appearing to wound another, as Sergeant Frey emerges from the house with a handgun at the ready. Anna is able to leash the dog. At the same time, Phil Henry is pulling up with the trunk open on his SUV. Huck would often jump right in, but there's not enough time.
I was right there. I immediately apologized profusely, said I'm still on the leash, but I just hadn't killed yet.
The dog takes off toward the wounded chicken, pulling Anna to the ground. Sergeant Frey's wife shouts. The Henrys wish Frey had not used lethal force so quickly.
You could use a broom, you could use a fire.
Why didn't he just grab the leash?
I think you're asking for a superhuman effort there.
Barry Wilkinson tells me, the dog charging Sergeant Frey.
If the dog is now moving towards you, is charging after you, after it's broken free from its owner, and after the dog is shot, falls pretty much at your feet, what's the logical inference to draw from that?
But the Henry family lawyer disputes that, pointing to the same video. Anna has Huck on the leash heading back home. He turns and takes off in this direction after another chicken. Sergeant Frey moves to the right out of the way, takes his shooting stance, opens fire. It appears the dog goes down here. Frey then takes 7 steps ending to the right of Huck. The Henry's attorney says that shows the dog was a significant distance from the sergeant and did not fall at Frey's feet when shot.
So it's pretty comical that he's now deciding to argue that he was acting in self-defense, because that's a little hard to do when the dog's running away from you.
With Huck bleeding on the ground and unable to move, Anna Henry and Frey's wife asks the sergeant to put...
I think that lady is stupid. She's wrong right there. That cop was defending his property. Everybody has a right to do that. Defending himself, that has nothing to do with it. I don't care whether cops is my worst enemy or not. This one makes sense. That cop was defending his property. That's the reason why that cop should have shot that dog. Alright, maybe I've been stretching this video a little bit too far. I got a couple more anyway. I don't mind seeing this. I've been seeing way too many slaughterhouse horror shows up in this thing here. I remember I did shoot a video a couple of months ago, about 7 months ago, somewhere about the time when I was in that motel across the street somewhere, right on the other side of the neighborhood. Yeah, it's like I got something to say about this. I got background experience using one of these. I hope you know what this is. Y'all seen it already. This one that I just got from Amazon, a BB gun. I got background experience using one of these in various ways, in certain ways. To tell you the truth, I know at least 3 incidents. I could start with, I don't know, maybe I'll start with, 2015? Yes, at the time when I was homeless in my minivan, yes, somebody did try to steal my car. Actually, it was another 480 FPS pistol with the same strength, same power as this one. And I put 2 rounds of BBs in his scapula, shoulder blade. He took off and run. Of course, that ain't gonna take down somebody that size. But he took off and run anyway. The second one, dude comes up, I guess that guy, he didn't know I was in the minivan. I was back there sleeping. And the second one came up, tried to approach me. Looked like he wanted to beat me up. I put 6 rounds into his stomach, close range with another FPS just like that. The third one, I guess he was a stalker or something, I don't know. But just looked like me and him got into it. I chased him down to his house, hit him in the face, back of the head, a couple of times. Like I did it like 5 times in the face. 5 times back of the head, a couple of times in the back of the shoulder. And he kept running away he kept running around the back of his house, and he kept grabbing onto the back of his head. Yeah, I did get aggravated about it for that. I got arrested for that one. I don't mind admitting it. But I was claiming self-defense myself. Yeah, I went to jail for doing that. That was back in 16. Yeah, for using a BB gun. But anyways, I could have got away with, you know, not being arrested. That was that's been on my record like since 2016 anyway. And the other one, what was it? 4 of them. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. I guess number 5. The reason why I had to put that in, because a lot of people have they cuss and gripe or have controversies about using these air pistols as self-defense, and you could use them for any reason you want. You just gotta use common sense. I mean, of course, yes, legal system is full of shit that's fucked up. But the thing is, you got a cop right here that had his property. His property was, I don't know what you want to say. His property was being violated, or, you know, was being approached. Well, actually, his animals were being killed off by a dog, and this off-duty cop came out and slaughtered the dog that did it. They got X amount of stuff happening. They got pit bulls coming off a leash, mauling UPS drivers, FedEx. I'm fixing to show you that. But anyways, yes, if y'all say that, how you could use this against a person, man, I just told you. I've been threatened. I almost got my car stolen. It did its job. I'm not saying that I'm expecting ear pistols to kill any animal or any person. It could do just that, but it's like you gotta use it a certain way to make it work. Number 2, you gotta make sure it's in good shape. Number 3, even if it is a regular 9 or a 40, it might jam on you. Can you imagine if that dog was coming after you or your child? I'm about to give you some more of that. I ain't done yet. If that dog, as a matter of fact, a baby girl got killed anyway, and another person got killed, and I seen they had like a little 5-year-old white boy that got mauled by 1 or 2 pit bulls. As a matter of fact, it was 1. I watched the video where the cop watched the pit bull walk right in front of him. The cop fired 3 shots, pop, pop, pop. The dog jumped up in the air and just kept going. That's the dog that killed the 5-year-old boy. And the baby girl also got mauled, but she survived. Now him, he used justified force, alright. It's too bad he did it too late. His chickens got killed. One of his chickens got killed off. And it looked like they want to come after him. I already downloaded a couple. But let me go back to this and then go back to that, because I got a mouthful of things to say. When it comes to using this, make sure it's in good shape. Alright, just like what happened to me in, what was it, January of 22 and somewhere about February of 23. Twice by the same friggin' dog. I'm saying right on the other side of this neighborhood, like on the other block. Right when I was strolling down, I was walking though, I wasn't driving. This was like maybe 12 noon, 11 o'clock, 12 noon, you know. I'm walking from this apartment going back to the hotel. And on my way, I guess I was recovering I was putting my mom's car back into the lot. So I'm walking away from this place, right? This house where I'm at. I'm walking back to the hotel and I'm talking to this lady on the phone for a job, right? And while I was talking, the dog came out and interrupt. And this was in 23. This is the one in 23. Came out and interrupt me. And then it kept growling at me. That's the same dog that I ran into in 22. I should have started with 22, but let me start with 23 since I'm on it. So this is what I did. I had to cross my Night Stalker. I know y'all saw that video. I said, get that damn dog out of my face right now. The female is just staring at me. This little girl staring at me. I guess maybe she didn't understand me, but I didn't know that. I didn't know she probably didn't speak English. She probably from South America or something. I said, get that fucking dog away from me now. And then all of a sudden, I guess she got scared. She thought it was a real gun. You see, I didn't pull my gun out yet. I said, you know, my ear pistol. I said, get that dog out of my face right now. The dog wouldn't let off. I said, get that fucking dog out of my face now. That's when I did like that. I cocked it. Get that fucking dog out of my face. I turned the gun sideways and lowered it to the floor and went pop, 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 pop. I tried to knock out his legs or hit him a certain way. I guess I just did it in style. I hit him, I knocked his legs out. But he didn't die or nothing. I didn't have no exact way of the way I wanted to shoot the gun. I just did it in style. It just came natural. I just felt like fucking the dog up. So I just turned the gun sideways and lowered it close to the floor and hit him in the legs, and he backed off. He stopped growling. I softened him up. He looked like he was trying to bark again, but he didn't feel like doing it. So I put the gun back in my coat and kept on going. And the next one, go back to 22. That's the same dog. That's the same exact dog that I ran into. This time, it was this that I used to hold him off. The first time I walked forward and I came back. Walked forward, came back. He's still in my face. And I turned away. He's still following me. And I came up to him. Next time I see that motherfucker, I'm gonna cut his head off. I'm serious. I'm gonna have to do it. People need to put their shit, you know, where it belongs. So this is what happened. That was back in 22 when I had the knife at the time. At that time, I never had none of these. I was walking right through the neighborhood, going back to the hotel. So, the second time it happened was in 23. Yes, that's when I had the Crossman pistol. And I did that. So that's twice. 2 times I ran into the same dog. And they got other ones that come off a leash out here too. But anyways, I'm gonna get to the next part. Let's just say this is not really meant for it, but in a way, I'm gonna say this. It is pretty useful. This ain't no joke. This thing right here, well, even though this one is 480, the other ones that's in the 400 zone, they're just as bad and vicious. I ain't gonna lie about that. because y'all saw me penetrating that can about 40 feet. I left 3 rounds and then another 2 rounds. It didn't matter which one of these I was using, whether it's the 480 FPS or the 430 or the 400 or the 395. Y'all are pretty good. You just need to make sure it's in good shape. Alright, we switch from the BB guns to the regular guns. I got background experience using that too. I used to have it. The thing is, when I was entering the state of Florida, as a matter of fact, when I had already entered the state of Florida, at that time I was living in Houston, Texas. I left Houston, Texas with my 2 guns when I crossed the state line. I got pulled over for some reason, and when they found out, you know, they checked my car, they found out that I got these legally registered guns. You know what, at that time in 2009, they said that in the state of Florida, you're not allowed to carry guns coming from another state into the state of Florida. Back in 2009, their rules were different. The rules were different back then. So they confiscated my guns, and I tried to get them back. And I guess at that time, I don't know, I tried to go to court about it. I went to court with a police officer, and it still didn't work. They said that no guns allowed back then. And not only that, I also found out that Illinois, the Walmart stores in Illinois do not have BB guns, or they do not have. You cannot order anything looking like this. You cannot order anything, not even ammunition or BBs or anything. They don't have nothing like that in Illinois. The Walmart stores, they don't exist in the Walmart store. Not even an air rifle. Nothing like that. And what else? I guess they say in Canada, they're right. It's the same thing. Canada, you're not allowed to enter Canada with you can't enter Canada with any firearm. But they did catch me with a knife, a buck knife. They told me, this one cop told me to fold the buck knife open in front of him so he can see the blade. And I showed it to him. I held the blade up like this. The cop asked me to fold the knife open. I showed it to him, and then he said, put it back. So they let me keep it anyways. He told me I could keep the knife. I could take the knife into Canada. This is when I was crossing into Canada from, I think it was Buffalo, New York or someplace. This was way back 2004 somewhere. 2002, 3 or 4. Yeah, it's really true. But I'm pretty sure they must have changed the laws already. I heard that you could carry guns into Florida, but you couldn't carry it. That's what them cops, it was a Sunrise Police. And what else? I had something else in mind. I guess that's it. I don't know what else to say. The thing is, yeah, I did hit this other dog in, what was it, Lauderdale Lakes, 2015. Yeah, that's the one I knocked in the shoulders. I can't believe a small BB can actually knock a small dog right in the shoulder. That's another one that came after me. It hit him right in the shoulder, and he started paddle kicking on the floor. It took him like 2 to 3 seconds to start screaming and yelling. By the time he started making a lot of noise, I took off and disappeared. I didn't want to stick around for it. And yes, of course, way back when I was, 7 years old, I was walking in front of this neighbor's house. This huge dog that was probably pretty much bigger than my size back then. I had this little piece of wood I was using as a rifle. You know, I'm playing cowboys and Indians with it. I'm playing with my friends. I'm walking right in front of this neighbor's house when I was much younger, like around 1976, 77. Yeah, I walked in front of this neighbor's house, and this huge dog came up behind me and started barking. I got nervous and scared. I also felt bad about this. It seemed like, as a kid, that smart, I had a piece of wood in my hand. I didn't even look behind me to see what it was, you know. I heard him, I saw him at the corner of my eye. But when he got closer and closer, I swung the piece of wood. It went king. It capped him right over the top part of his jaw. And he screamed and screamed and screamed and screamed, and he didn't stop. To tell you the truth, I did not feel nice about that. I didn't think that dog was such a bad dog, but I didn't feel okay about it. I felt bad. I still felt bad. This was way back when I was a kid. I didn't want to hurt the dog, but I knew what was gonna happen. I thought I had to do it, and I did it. I also knew I was gonna feel bad when I hit him. So when I did a spin around routine and capped him right in the top of his jaw. He kept making noise and he couldn't stop. But anyways, nah, that is the truth. I got background experience using this already. I mean, not this one, but the mother BB guns from earlier, like back in 2015. I got background experience using them. And here's another one. Not only that, you know what? Let me finish shooting this right here. There's a part where this lady are holding on to a stupid dog with the blood on her face. Watch.
Put the dog out of its misery.
Jenny, his wife, said, Nick, you have to help him. And I said...
And they said they're going to euthanize him. They've been saying that all the time. I'm going to show you some videos where some cops actually shot some dog and the neighbors tried to come after the cops.
Please, Nick, because I wanted the dog euthanized. And he said, I'm not touching that.
Yeah, the reason why she's saying she wanted the dog euthanized because she knew the dog was not going to live a normal life. That means, wait a minute, this cop shot the dog like what? 1, 2, 3, 4. He shot him about 4 times somewhere with a regular gun. He used a regular firearm. He shot the dog 4 times about. The dog did not die. They showed the x-ray of the bullet in the back of the dog's skull, right behind the dog's skull, and a couple of other shots in his body. The dog did survive, all right, but she wants the dog dead. She wants the dog to be put to sleep or euthanized because she thinks the dog is no longer useful.
That dog.
The dog was no longer a threat. He's not justified in just shooting a dog for the sake of shooting a dog.
Barry Wilkinson says he could not legally euthanize the dog and that in any event, Frey thought the dog had died shortly after the shooting. The Henrys believed Huck was near death, so they waited with him in the rain. An hour later, he was still alive, so they loaded him into the SUV with their daughter.
And I climbed in the back with him because I didn't want him to die alone, like in the back of the car.
She texted this picture to a friend who asked what was happening. Brianna Henry didn't know she had Huck's blood on her face. He later had to be euthanized. I tracked down the veterinary.
That's 100%.
Based at least in part on Sergeant Frey's statement that he felt threatened by the dog and did what he felt necessary to protect himself, Sonoma County Animal Control closed the case, adding that state agricultural code allows a dog to be killed if it's chasing livestock or poultry.
Here it is. Any person may kill any dog pursuing or worrying livestock or poultry. It don't have to be livestock. They got a couple of kids already got killed, man. Not for real. And they got a UPS driver that had blood all over the back of this trailer. He was trying to get away from the dog. I'm going to show you that in a while.
Poultry. But this nationally recognized police use of force expert, who has testified in more than 1,300 cases, has a different opinion.
And I'm speaking at the level of a...
I ain't got time to go through all of that. Let me just hurry up and knock this one out.
A truck passes by just seconds after the last gunshot.
He's in a front yard. I don't know how the barrel was pointed.
The Frey family put up 1 week.
Cause them emotional distress and harm? Absolutely not.
I'd like for him to feel some pain, accountability.
But you can understand that
hold up.
by a dog.
I'd like him to...
That's a cop. That's the off-duty cop right there. That's a woman's dog that killed his chickens, his birds. That's the cop right there. That's a woman's dog.
While a dog was friendly to the Henry family and their grandkids, I spoke to one neighbor who was afraid of Huck because the dog would bark when he walked by. A difficult story, but you can understand that...
I'm going to show you another one that really concerned me the most. Wait, hold up. Dog owner, deputy. Yeah, I got 2 good ones. All right, start with this one first.
It's a community protest outside a local police department. And what's got everyone worked up? Well, it's all over what happened when a cop came across a woman who was corralling her dogs. As her yellow lab approached the officer, he opened fire.
It's the chilling moment a police officer shoots a beloved family dog dead.
Watch this. That dog came out of nowhere and he just about reached right there and got shot a couple of times and he turned sideways.
And it's triggering uproar. Just released body cam video shows the furious reaction of the dog's owner, who has just seen her yellow lab Dixie gunned down.
Get back! Get back! Get me a bunch of cars out here. We got a bunch of people coming out.
You stupid! You killed my dog!
Get back!
Why did you do it?
Okay, your dog charged. Get back.
Within moments, neighbors come out to vent their anger.
Let me just dive right in and say something. This is some flexible shit right here. It could be me or anybody.
Anger at the cop who shot Dixie, a popular neighborhood fixture. It was so heated, the cop radioed he had to leave the scene.
Hey, I'm booking out of here.
It hurts really bad.
Dixie's owner, Tammy Kearns, says her 4 yellow labs ran out of the house and were being rounded up when a cop pulled over. Dixie runs toward the officer and is shot. The body cam video is...
Somewhere about then, one of them said that dog was just running up to the cop because he was just trying to be friendly or something like that. The truth is, you can't read no animal's mind or no person's mind. And worst of all, that is a law enforcement officer. He is not to be messed. None of them cops are not to be messed with. That cop is supposed to, he's not supposed to really getting friendly with people's dog unless if that cop knows that neighbor and he knows something about that dog. That cop did not know nothing about that dog. That cop did the right thing. That dog should be dead.
Muted. But
it didn't matter if it was coming towards me looking friendly. If he rushed towards me, if he growls, then you know something. If he rushed towards you, and he got a happy smile on his face and his ears pulled back, maybe that's alright, but to a police officer, no, it's not supposed to happen. Towards me, I guess I could do whatever I want to. I'll use my hunting knife or my gun because I don't want no, disease or rabies coming from him. If I don't know nothing about your dog, he dead. He gone.
A volley of shots was captured on a neighbor's dash cam. She expresses horror.
Watch this. You're fixing to hear the gunshots right now.
She sees.
No!
Tammy Kearns says Dixie just wanted to be petted.
He said he
popped this shit real good. I hope they do it again.
Let's fire out my dog. He should have stayed in his car if he's that scared.
The shooting outside Cleveland is triggering outrage.
Stayed in his car. He's supposed to be doing his job.
Rage with a blizzard of social media posts demanding
yeah,
justice
this will happen.
for Dixie.
This will happen. I ain't afraid of them kind of people. If I want to fuck somebody's dog up, I'll do it too. I wouldn't care because I just had it. I just almost got attacked myself.
Protesters outside the local police headquarters are calling for animal cruelty.
I want to offer our loss of a family member.
Everybody in my neighborhood knows my dogs are very nice. She was not mean.
The officer says he feared for his safety when he shot Dixie. He's now on administrative leave pending an investigation.
You also got another one where this other off-duty cop shot this dog, and you should have heard the way the neighbor came off. He said, "Do you have a pellet gun?" He said, "Yeah, why?" You just shot my dog, man." And then the cop goes, "What do you mean? Well, I had to do something. He's dead. He's dead. You shot my effing dog. He's dead." And then he kept on going and going and going. You're going to hear this one.
Yeah, they are all back home recovering tonight. We did speak to the dog's owner. He says this was all just a huge accident, but as you saw in that video, that accident led to a very dangerous situation.
They're saying that. That's not it. Hold up. Doggone it says deputy. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they are all back home recovering tonight. We did speak to the dog. Huge accident.
Pit bull puppies that got loose Thursday morning.
And I secured
most of it, and I didn't see.
4 of his dogs got out, 2 adults and 2 younger pups. The older dogs attacking a teenager, biting him on the leg before school.
Hold up.
Luckily, it wasn't too serious.
This is not it. I was wrong. I got 2 more. Hold up. That's not it. Hold up. Don't tell me I didn't put it down. You gotta be kidding. I did download that thing, man. Hold up a second. This, yeah, I did have it. I don't know what happened. Let me. I'll try and find it.
Yeah, they are all back home recovering tonight. We did speak to the dog's owner. He says this was all just a huge accident, but as you saw in that video, that accident led to a very dangerous on the leg before school.
Okay, sir.
It's okay. The body camera video also shows the responding deputy concerned for his nature. Still, the dog's owner wasn't happy about it.
If you were being an attack dog, your pants would be ripped or something would be ripped, wouldn't it? I mean, he had no bite marks, he had no nothing. So, I mean, that gives him no right to shoot the dog.
Humphrey has 2 of his puppies back.
A family in Galveston County. Either side of the fence.
He could have shot
this fence that tries to bite me.
She was just roaming.
11-year-old Talon.
Sleep with me.
Talon says Luna liked to explore, and even though she'd been in trouble in
I did see it.
News alert. Breaking news, disturbing body camera just released. Police officer killing a family dog. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeff Slauson. This video, hard to watch to say the least, but it does provide important insight to a trend.
I swear I had a friggin' video. I don't know what happened.
Where they gave us the body camera footage.
I am jumping at the sound of every firework. I had a breakdown panic attack on my front porch all weekend long. People, they all want to play with her or Ricochet. They could have missed.
That part is really, really difficult to watch. So let's watch this video right now.
The one I'm talking about.
Body cam footage.
The one I'm talking about, I had it. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know what. If I could check the history, maybe I'll find it. Yeah, I sure had it. I know what happened. The one I'm talking about, it was there. I'll probably find it sooner or later. Hold on a second. It could be this one, I think. Let me try that one.
Rescue puppy dead
over the country for little Apollo.
That's probably it.
The officer just days before the next door and cried.
Call.
Yeah, here it is.
You shot my fucking dog?
This is it.
You shot my fucking dog. What was your dog doing in my yard?
An off-duty St. Charles County Sheriff's deputy.
This is somebody who is in a position of authority, a public servant who's supposed to be in charge of safety, and I feel very grateful that it's being taken seriously.
It seemed like I had the video right. It's already downloaded. I couldn't tell which one it was.
Tells News 4 little Apollo wandered off to play in the Acute Day weekend, and she says the next door neighbor is responsible.
I was like, hey, Apollo. And as soon as he started trotting over and crossed, you know, like this gap in the trees, he just collapsed.
The family sent us this video.
I think that's the off-duty cop right there with a pellet gun. That's a cop.
Of the person they say shot and killed their puppy.
You have a pellet gun?
There it is. He said, you have a pellet gun? I just saw the guy. Hold up a second.
Puppy.
You have a pellet gun?
Right there he said, you have a pellet gun?
You shoot my dog?
He said, yes, I do. Then he said, you shoot my dog?
Because he's fucking dead, Cole.
He said, he's fucking dead, you asshole. That's what he said.
My fucking dog? You shot my fucking dog? What was your dog doing in my yard?
An off-duty.
No, he says, what's your dog doing in my yard?
He's St. Charles County Sheriff's deputy.
This is somebody who is in a position of authority, a public servant who's supposed to...
All right, since I was talking right there, I was just trying to help you out. I'll go ahead and start over.
The family sent us this video of the person they say shot and killed their puppy.
You have a pellet gun? You shoot my dog? Because he's fucking dead, Cole.
Okay.
You shot my fucking dog?
This is interesting, man.
You shot my fucking dog? dog doing in my yard?
And off-duty St. Charles.
I know you could talk to a cop in that tone of voice. This is something else. I gotta see this.
Sheriff's deputy.
This is somebody who is in a position of authority, a public servant who's supposed to be in charge of safety. And I feel very grateful that it's being taken seriously.
The Hanson family tells News 4 little Apollo wandered off to play in the accused deputy's yard. A vet's x-ray shows where...
Hold it. There goes a pellet right to his ribcage.
Where the puppy was shot by a...
Yeah, hold up a second. I lost
pellet gun. Right, a vet's x-ray...
Right there.
Shows where the puppy was shot by a pellet gun right in the lung.
We're back there doing yard work. We're f***ing trimming trees. He wandered over here and you shoot him? You f***ing killed him with a pellet gun? In a goddamn neighborhood? Are you a f***ing cop? What
Boys, are you a effing cop?
department do you work for? Don't worry about what department. Mother.
He said, don't worry about what department I work for. And then he goes, mother effer.
Certainly wish that when we confronted him, he would have had any kind, apologetic, empathetic thing to say.
I got my hands on voicemail sent to the St. Charles County Prosecutor's Office demanding that this deputy be held accountable.
You calling about bailiff.
This shit is not going to end. I tell you, it's a whole fucking harsh. It's a barbarian's feel, man. It's like everybody out to kill each other. It don't matter.
And if that piece of shit is going to be in jail or not very soon. I'm just calling about officer.
So now they want to attack cops in the worst way.
And how you guys are disgusting for hiring someone that can abuse animals and or kill animals.
The case is now in the hands of another jurisdiction, a special prosecutor in Jefferson County. The St. Charles County Sheriff's Department launching its own internal investigation to figure out what happened. But for this mother, it's the loss of a furry family member for her two boys that makes this heartbreak even more shattering.
That's the worst thing as a mom, is watching your kids have to deal with that. They're strong.
We still do not know what charges the Jefferson County prosecutor will bring against this officer. The family has set up a GoFundMe in Apollo's memory to help wounded animals in shelters, a place where Apollo once lived. We'll have that link for you.
That's the one I was talking about. No, I know there's another one somewhere. Yeah, the part where... What was it? There's two of them. I just downloaded like two more. Yeah, the girl got killed.
5 News at Noon starts right now.
I ran to the baby and I looked down at her to see what I could do for her. And when I looked at her, I knew that there was nothing I could do.
I'm Katie Beasley, and we begin with a Fox 5 News alert. A Bulls attacked 3 children as they walked to the bus stop. Fox 5 was there as police and 3 of those dogs are now off the streets. 1 was shot and killed, and their owner is also in custody. Fox 5's Caitlin Pratt.
Shut up. Get to the point.
Good afternoon to you, Katie. Yeah, those children, they were walking right along the road, had just turned the corner here on Jasper Street when they encountered those 3 pit bull dogs. A lot of stories of bravery here. When tried to get the dogs off of the younger kids and the neighbors from inflicting any more harm.
I see the dog steady pacing back and forth. I chase the dog on further away.
A group of children walked.
Yeah, you're gonna see a black lady holding a 13, probably a 17-inch knife or something like that.
To the bus stop, using a cut-through on Jasper Street in southwest Atlanta when 3 dogs attack.
As I chase the dog further away, I get in the backyard and I see that it already has the little boy back here unconscious.
Neighbors ran to chase the animals away, but not before the dogs, police say, mauled 3 young kids. The pit bulls ran in different directions as residents responded with baseball bats, knives, and broom. trying to track them down.
One dog was coming across the field and he saw us coming at him. He ran back and we saw the other one went up all good. And another gentleman and I and my fiance, we ran him up the street, ran the other dog up the street and cornered him on.
Showing the intense scene as police surrounded one of the dogs, waiting for animal control.
He was full of blood all over his chest and everything. It wasn't a good sight.
They got it. While a street away, officers fired at a second animal as it lunged. They missed. That dog was retrieved, and we're learning police killed a third dog, too savage, they say, to control.
We have located the owner of the dog. The injuries are very severe. One of the kids has deceased.
To see those little kids, to carry them in your arms.
A lifeless body, that hurt me. I have a son the exact same age. That hurt me to have to pick that child lifeless, bloody body up and carry him all the way up here to the ambulance.
He's about 5 or 6 years old, also girl injuries, and a third child being evaluated right now, not as seriously hurt as the other. Elementary school, and as we're learning.
You sure shut the hell up. She talks so much. Let me go ahead and. I think there's another one coming up. I got a big issue about this, man. It's not just happening everywhere else. It's right here in the neighborhood where I'm at too. Hold up, I think no, I already shot that one. This must be it right here.
On September 13th, firefighters and animal control arrived at a gated property on 116th Street East near Puyallup. But the victim in this case worked for the United Parcel Service.
The UPS driver was attacked by 5 pit bulls that are still currently outside. And he's blocked inside a trailer on the property.
UPS driver Kevin Backlund entered the yard to deliver a package, and 4 pit bulls attacked him. He jumped on the back of a flatbed trailer to try to get away from the dogs.
And then I saw the man up on the trailer, and I didn't know what to do. I wasn't going to...
Legs. The photos of the scene hint at how bad his injuries were. The incident report from Ording Valley Fire and Rescue said the driver was covered in blood on top of a small trailer 4 feet off the ground and had one of the pit bulls latched on his leg. Told the firefighters the driver was trespassing and kicked one of my dogs. They are going to kill him.
Didn't want him on the property, didn't allow him on the property.
Fire Chief Zane Gibson said when the woman refused to open the gate, the responders had no other choice but to ram it.
The battalion chief observed him, feared for his life, and that's why he made the decision.
A 59-year-old former Nevada Highway Patrol trooper had deep bites to both legs, tearing into the muscle and down to the bone in the left leg. Animal control officers retrieved his boots from the property, which the dogs had pulled off. They found a small "Beware of Dog" sticker on the fence. An investigator asked the UPS manager database not to enter the dented gate, and a small bright looking at the business referred us to an attorney who declined to comment on the case until their investigation was complete. As for the woman who refused to let paramedics gain access to that property at all.
They're definitely not her dog.
Painkillers, and goes to the clinic to have that said in part, "We want to express our deepest gratitude to Ording Valley Fire Department for their courageous actions that we believe saved my life." Was the attorney for and that they're appealing does not go through. In the newsroom, Alyssa Hahn, King 5 News.
5 News at Noon starts right now.
I ran to the baby and I said, I looked down.
Kinda wanna like see him anyways. I got a fresh one. I ain't trying to bore y'all to death, but you know, it's like this thing is like anywhere, anytime, any place. What the hell is this? Teases homeless veteran dog.
I've never had anybody.
I've never seen this one before.
He tasted it before. I think they're getting the physical to come out. Help me! Please help!
I want to see this shit. Let me get away from this, man. I want to get away from this.
On September 13th, firefighters and
Rescue puppy dead, and neighbors say a member of law enforcement is to blame.
Yeah, the dog
I think this one really got me right here.
Weekend, and she says the next door neighbor is responsible.
I was like, hey, Apollo. And as soon as he started trotting over and crossed, you know, like this gap in the trees, he just collapsed.
The family sent us this video of the person they say shot and killed their puppy.
You own a pellet gun? You shoot my dog? Because he's f***ing dead, Cole. What? You shot my f***ing dog? You shot my f***ing dog!
What was your dog doing in my yard?
An off-duty St. Charles County Sheriff's deputy.
This is somebody who is in a position of authority, a public safety, and very grateful that it's being taken seriously.
The Hanson family tells News 4 Little Deputy's yard. A vet's x-ray shows where the puppy was shot by a pellet gun right in the lung.
We're back there doing yard work. We're f***ing trimming trees. He wandered over here and you shoot him? You f***ing killed him with a pellet gun? In a goddamn neighborhood? Are you a f***ing cop? What department do you work for? Don't worry about what department. Mother.
I certainly wish that...
That one kind of grim and scared me to death, man. I hate to be in that shoe. I never thought I would see this. You got another one? Nah. Alright. I guess what I was gonna say is, I guess that's good enough. I don't know what else to put on there. I could say is this. Any, you know, places like in the rest area, you'll find that too. That can happen. And yeah, the rest area, the park, I've seen it all, man. I've seen it. But it ain't no joke though. Way back when I was like, what, 7 years old, yes, I almost killed a dog myself, but I didn't have no gun at the time. I didn't have no air pistol or any kind of gun. I used a piece of wood, like a splintered 2x4, and I swung the wood around, capped him on the top of his jaw, and he went away screaming. I didn't even put up a fight. It was effortless. Effortless. I just used my left arm and swung around just one time. I couldn't even look behind me, man, because I didn't feel like doing it. I didn't want to. I guess I was too small. I didn't really have enough intelligence to know that it's okay to kill an animal when it comes after you. But it seemed like, boy, I don't remember looking at the dog when it came up behind me. I swung the piece of wood, and as soon as it hit him, he took off screaming. He didn't sound like he was running far away. He was just like, I don't know where I got that strength for a 7-year-old, but man, I saved myself from that. And then bring it up to 2015, 22, and 23. That's when I started using one of these. And it's just plain pure pistols I've been using, and they work. 400 FPS, 480, 430 is pretty good. But I guess I don't know. I guess that's it. Let me see if I got anything important. I think I don't remember seeing this part. Let me try this one. Oh yeah, I think this is the one where this dude came out with a pellet gun. He snuck a shot, and the neighbor's dog collected a bunch of pellets, and the dog's still alive.
Galveston County is asking for help from the authorities after their dog was shot and killed by a neighbor. The man who shot the dog says he was just...
That's not it. That's not it. It was... It's the one with a trailer, I think. The one with a drive. I just saw it a while ago. Hold on a second. It's not that. Yeah, I just had it. Alright, let me try finding somewhere else. Hold up. Downloads. Yeah, this is it right here.
An Albuquerque family is frustrated and angry. Doorbell camera caught to warn you. The video.
Because she heard the dog crying, so she
caught on camera.
I was helping my in-laws move. And then I got a call from my wife saying that
Her neighbor, and it was up for months. The family warn you. The video is disturbing. An Albuquerque family says their dog has been tortured for months by their next door neighbor, and it was all caught on camera.
I was helping my in-laws move, and then I got a call from my wife saying that the neighbor shot.
Not to mention the dog got X amount of pellets, probably about 5 or so.
The dog, because she heard the dog crying, so she reviewed the camera, and we saw that he shot the dog.
Back in June, Javier Baca says they saw via their Ring camera feed their neighbor, David Wiegand, shoot their Doberman Blue Heeler named Rocket in the lake.
I called him, and he says it wasn't him, it was some kids throwing stuff in our yard. So I said, we have you on
months of footage, and it turns out
throwing stuff in our yard. So I said, we have you on video.
But it turns out this wasn't the first time. They looked back through 6 months of footage and a series of shots of the neighbor walking along the cement wall with a gun in January, February, March, April, and June, when they were finally home before it happened.
So we took them back to the vet, and then they x-rayed and found 9 pellets in total.
Now Baca says his young...
I guess I was wrong. It wasn't 5, it was 9. Man, that's too much. That dog should have been dead already because pellets have lead in it.
Children are afraid to go in the backyard of their home near Indian School in Eubank. Baca says their neighbor eventually admitted to it.
He says it was because of the barking, but I mean, he's a dog, he barks.
In the Albuquerque police report from June, the responding officer says Wiegand admitted to shooting Rocket because he had never called 311 or animal welfare to report the barking.
State of New Mexico Uniform Incident Report.
Dog before shooting. But the Bacas say there's Rocket.
So then we started calling, and then that
13. APD did pass off the case to an animal welfare officer who then left the city. Animal Welfare tells News 13 they have assigned the case to another officer and charges could still be in the works. As for Wiegand, records show he owns a construction company and serves on the board of the Manal School.
Rescue puppy dead and...
Alright, hold on a second. Off-duty Mansfield officer shoots and kills. I've never seen this one
in one Mansfield neighborhood.
Yeah, I kind of stretched it a little bit too far. It's going on to an hour. Anyway, y'all could just look at whatever evidence you see about this. But, you know, I'm going to just go ahead and do one more, and that's it.
After an off-duty officer killed a dog.
Yeah, they're especially worried about the shooting with children nearby. Our Ken Molestina has this story all new.
He was shot right over there by the mailbox.
Carol Evans says it all happened shortly after the Cowboys game on Sunday.
He knows our family. He knows Caesar. He walks this neighborhood with this dog all the time.
Mansfield police confirm one of their officers shot and killed a Great Dane after he reported it charged at him. His owner says Caesar did get loose and walked across the street, but she says he was not aggressive, and she did try and physically bring him back.
I was literally, inches away from him getting ready to grab Caesar, and then the next thing, he reached in his jacket and pulled his gun out.
According to witnesses, the shot was fired right in front of children who were outside playing. Garrett Martinez lives a few houses down and says his kids were just feet away from the off-duty officer who fired his gun.
My initial, was get the kids inside. That's obviously gunfire.
He's saddened by the dog's death, but says he's equally disturbed by the officer pulling the trigger so close to the kids.
Extremely bothered. My kids have, never heard that sound, and then to see them, the whimpering of the dog that they have 5 years.
That's basically what he killed, is a show dog.
And bought a female Great Dane. They had intentions of release that officer's name tonight. They're also not saying disciplinary actions. They did say, however, shot was fired from his own personal gun. We're live in Mansfield tonight.
All right, that's it. I don't feel like going too far. It's been 53 minutes anyway. Sorry if you got bored to death. But pay attention to what I was saying earlier on.